What's up, everybody? It's Lane Rolling, and this video is going to be about 5 tips that you need to implement when delivering Uber Eats every day. If you do these 5 things every day, you will be successful and you will be able to make some really, really good money and have a good time. If you don't, it's gonna go off. I should also name this video 5 things I wish I knew when I first started delivering for Uber Eats. Now, if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would smash that subscribe button and also that like button. I make all different types of videos. My channel is kind of like versatile. I'm all over the place, but my channel is just like my life. It's what I do. I'm a dad, I'm a skateboarder, I'm a gamer, and I do Uber Eats and other things too, so I just film it all and put it on my channel. And I've been doing Uber Eats for maybe 5 years now, so I have developed certain tactics that I use on an everyday basis to make me be able to make really good money and also be stress-free every single day. Now, if you do these things too, you can make anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000 a month. You know what I mean? I usually make at least $200 a day and don't even work a full 8 hours. And I got plenty of time to do everything else. So we're going to basically go over these 5 things. They all kind of work together cohesively, but I'm going to separate them and I'm going to talk about there's different things in each tip that is going to be basically, there's more than one element in each tip. So I'm going to go over all of the elements in each tip and then I'll explain how they all go together. So one of the most important things that you want to know is location. Put location like up here. Location is basically where you're going to be delivering, the area that you want to deliver in, which means like I live in the DMV area, that's Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. I don't like to deliver in Washington, D.C. because that location does not have parking. A lot of people live in high-rise apartments, so that makes it also hard. Like, you got to double park, and you have to access their apartment building. You have to go up in the elevator. There's just like a bunch of work. Even with picking up at the restaurants, you got to double park or find parking. Go into the restaurant is usually way busier than me delivering in Maryland, more in the suburbs where there's parking lots. I can just pull into the location, and I can basically just run into the restaurant, grab the food, and leave. Also, location is like, where are you going to deliver? You want to be in a location where Uber Eats is well known, where we call them hot spots or surge spots or whatever you want to call them. This is when you have to kind of do it for like a month or so, and then you'll figure out in your area the best places to be when you want to get deliveries, and be near that area when you turn your app on. Because if you're far away and you're in a location where there are no restaurants, you're not going to get pinged. Whoever's in that area is going to get pinged. They basically call upon you when you're near the restaurant. Whoever's nearest to that restaurant, there's 10 Uber drivers, you're going to be the one that gets picked if you're in those hot spots. So I like to drive in a location where I know there's maybe 10 restaurants and they all have Uber Eats accounts. Makes it way easier. Just like I said, location as well. I want to be in an area where I know that it's going to be very easy for me to drop it off. Like, apartments are probably one of the hardest things to deliver to. You got to park your car. Most places have an access code. Then you have to basically access their place, go in the elevator, and then find their apartment. I live in a place that's kind of like that. Like, you come in, you can get freaking lost. There's so many different hallways, and that can be very confusing, especially when most of the time you contact the customer. A lot of them don't pick up, so then you're in a you're like on an Easter egg hunt trying to find this person's apartment. So I try to stay away from places that are going to take me to places like that. So that's a big thing. I like to be in locations where there's houses and things of that nature to make it way easier for me to be successful. Also, location is like, find out where you get tipped the most, where the customers are have gratitude more than other places. Like certain customers in certain areas are just like not who you want to be delivering for. You know what I mean? Some of them don't tip. And I also work for DoorDash, right? And I see that a lot with DoorDash. Where DoorDash is located, a lot of the customers do not show you gratitude at all. They don't ever say thank you. Most of them don't tip, and that's like a big problem. And that's why I choose Uber Eats over that. But that's the biggest thing with location. Next thing we'll talk about is time. Time is one of the most important things to be successful in Uber Eats. You got to know what time to go out. You got to be on time. You got to know how long to wait at the restaurant, and also how long to wait at the customer's place. All of these things is going to help you out, because if you spend too much time at the restaurant, it's going to lower the amount of money you're going to make. Also, if you go out at a time that's not good, then you're not. So first we're going to talk about the times that you want to go out. So the times that you want to go out, it's kind of self-explanatory or common sense. You want to go out during lunchtime. Anywhere from 11 to 3 are going to be your surge areas. You know what I mean? You can make the most money going out in those times, because people are ordering lunch. Most people are at work, especially if you're around like office buildings and stuff like that. A lot of people are going to order lunch. After 3 o'clock, people are getting ready to go home, so you're not going to get as many orders. The next time to go out is anywhere from, I would say, 7 to like 11 or 12 at night. It ends at 11 or 12 because most restaurants are closed. The only orders you're going to get are from like McDonald's and any place that stays open like 24 hours, which it's not going to be the same amount of money that you would be making from 7 to 11. So those are the times from 11 to 3 and from 7 to, I would say, midnight. Because there's certain places like bars, TGI Fridays and stuff that stay open to 12 where you can make pretty good money. Now we're going to talk about the time of you when you arrive at the restaurant. Make sure as soon as you get the order, you're getting to the restaurant on time. They're looking at you and they're making sure you're not stopping somewhere or doing whatever. So get to the restaurant as soon as possible. Also, that helps you out with the customer getting tips. Make sure you arrive on time. As soon as you arrive in the parking lot in front of the building, mark your order as not ready. As soon as you get there, mark it as not ready. What that's going to do is going to send a message to the restaurant that you're there, and it's also going to send a message to Uber Eats letting them know that you arrived. Now, I'm saying that because there's going to be a timer that starts clicking. With waiting at any restaurant, you do not want to wait any more than 10 minutes. If you wait over 10 minutes at a restaurant, and this is after you've checked in, give them the name or the number that's associated with the order, start counting the time. Because after 10 minutes, what you're going to want to do is, this is key to making sure that you're not wasting your time. Because if you wait too long at a restaurant, the customer takes it out on you. It's just like a waiter or waitress, right? The cook takes a long time, or the kitchen takes a long time to bring out food. The waiter or waitress gets the blunt of that. They're not going to get a tip. The customers are going to take it out. They don't take it out on the cook. The cook gets paid hourly, but the waiter or waitress barely makes any money. The food takes a long time. The food's cold or whatever it happens. The waiter or waitress is going to get that. They're not going to get a tip. So this is very key to doing it, because when customers order food, they are given an estimated time. If it says the food's supposed to be there in 20 minutes, right, they expect the food to be there in 20 minutes. Now, if you're waiting at a restaurant for 20 minutes, then you got to drive to their place. The person's waited a long time. They're freaking hangry, and you're not going to get a tip. So this is what I suggest. This is what I found out by doing this over years. I've talked to people in the night hubs of Uber Eats, and I've had discussions with them. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to mark it as not ready. After 10 minutes, you're going to call support. You're going to tell support, I've been waiting at this restaurant for a very long time. It's been over 10 minutes. I would like for you to cancel the order. Now, what they're going to do is they're going to bring up your account. They're going to check to see that you're you and all this stuff. After that, they're going to try to contact the restaurant. 9 times out of 10, if a restaurant's taking that long to get you their food, they're not going to pick up the phone. So if they call and they don't pick up the phone, what they're going to do is they're going to cancel the order. you're going to get a miscellaneous fee. And then the restaurant's not going to get any money. The customer gets refunded their money, but you still get that miscellaneous fee. Now, if you wait 10 minutes, you'll get $3. If you wait 15 minutes, you'll get $4. If you wait 20 minutes, you'll get $5. Anything over 20 minutes, they are not going to compensate you for it. So if you sit there and spend 30 minutes at a restaurant, they're not going to pay you extra. Also, the reason why I get it canceled, if you wait 20 minutes at a restaurant and pick up the order, they don't give you anything extra. You got the same amount of money that you would have made if the order was ready when you arrived. So that's kind of like messing. Like, let's say you're getting $5, right? You're expecting the order to be ready. You wait 30 minutes. Right, it took you 10 minutes to drive to the restaurant, 30 minutes, then it takes you 10 to 12 minutes to drive there. You spend almost 40 minutes for $5. Then you're going to have to come back to an area where you might end up going to a place where there are no restaurants, and you have to drive back to an area to get another order. So you spent a whole hour and you made $5. It's not worth it. Call it in, get it canceled. Do not cancel it yourself, because if you cancel it yourself, what they're going to do is they're going to put it on your cancellation rate, and that's going to mess up your satisfaction rate when it really has nothing to do with you. And then also, what I found out is when you call in, they cancel it, and you stay at that restaurant, what is going to happen is the customer is going to order the food again, and then you're going to get pinged for that order, and then by the time they get pinged for the order, the food will be ready. You pick it up, so that means you got extra money for your wait time. Then you're picking the order up, and you're still getting your money. So it's a win-win situation for you. Also, when you arrive at the customer's house, text them and let them know that you arrived. Try to contact them, depending on if you're dropping the food off. Some people want you to drop the food off at their house. You take a photo, you can move on about your day. But if you have to access somebody's apartment complex and they have not given you an access code, or they live in an apartment building where same thing, access code or somewhere like that, where you're supposed to meet them somewhere else, call the customer. After you call the customer, what's going to happen is you mark it as can't contact the customer or can't find the customer. Then there's going to be a timer that starts clicking. There's 8 minutes that goes down. You wait 8 minutes. After the 8 minutes, you're able to cancel the order. Doesn't affect your cancellation rate. You get paid for the order, and you can dispose of the food however you see fit. But do not wait over 8 minutes for customers, because at the end of the day, you're not getting paid for it. And if the customer is not there to get their food, you need to move on about your day. Move on. Uber is probably going to refund them their money, and after they refund them the money, they'll probably order the food again or whatever happened. That's kind of on them. It goes against their record. So that's another thing about time. So those are things in time. If you have any other questions about that, feel free to put it in the comments. Next thing is communication. Communication is key. That's communication with the restaurant, communication with Uber, and communication with your customer. So first, I'm going to go over communication with the restaurant. As soon as you arrive, you want to communicate that you're there, right? You definitely want to let them know that you don't want to stand there and be looking for your order. Let them know that you're there. Let them know that you're trying to get there. Also communicate when it's been 10 minutes. I've been waiting 10 minutes. How much longer can this be? Now, a lot of restaurants have bad communication, especially if they're already going to take a long time. What they're going to do is they're going to be like, oh, it's not ready, and they'll walk away. Instead of them being like, it's not ready, it'll be ready in 7 minutes. They rarely ever do that. They don't do it. And then after that, they try to avoid you by all means possible. Especially in some place like McDonald's or fast food restaurants, they'll sit there and just make sure they don't turn around and look at you, and they're just be trying to go away, and you'll see them go in the back and look around the corner and see is he still standing there, and then take forever. So what you want to do is communicate with them. Then even just like I said, if you cancel the order, communicate with that restaurant, because you're probably going to be delivering the area. You're probably going to go back and see them. I've had this plenty of times, and me communicating and not cussing them out or not doing nothing, just communicating them in a very professional way, letting them know, like, I only have 10 minutes to wait. This is the policy. If I wait anything over 10 minutes, I'm going to cancel the order. You're going to lose out on money. I'm going to end up getting pinged for the order. I'm going to get paid, but it's going to look bad on you. So any driver, make sure you have the order ready, because if you think about it, they get the ping before me. They get the ping 8 minutes. Like, most of the time it takes you like anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes to get to a restaurant. When you get that ping, the restaurant got the order beforehand. So they already know the food's there, or they already know what to prepare, and they don't do it. So that's a big thing. In a lot of fast food restaurants, you arrive and you tell them that you're there, and they look at they're like, oh snap, I didn't even know that you were supposed to be here. We didn't even know the order. Then they start trying to get it in. That's when the time takes a long period of time, and they're backed up, because a lot of fast food restaurants are very just unorganized. They're probably the worst places to deliver for. Like, I go to like legitimate restaurants, you know what I mean, where they got cooks and stuff in the back, and anytime I get in, the food's ready. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense to me how some place that only takes 5 to 10 minutes to make everything are the ones that are always late when getting your order. But just like I said, communicate with them, let them know. Also communicate with Uber. If you waited a long time, call Uber. Do what I said to do. Get them to cancel it. Communicate that you waited a long time. Let them know everything that's going on. Also with the customer. You get to the restaurant, it's not ready, text the customer. Let them know food's not ready. I don't know what's going on, this and that. Also, you might want to contact the customer. If you're canceling, you don't need to contact the customer. Another thing with communication, if you arrive at a restaurant and the restaurant, and fast food does this a lot too, and the restaurant basically says, we don't have that, you need to communicate with them. You need to call the customer and ask what they want. What they want you to do is they want you to be the one who contacts the customer and communicate that there's another item and what do they like, what would they want. It's not your job. Your job is to pick up the food. I know for a fact that they have an option to call the customer, and what they should have done is when they got the order and they saw that they didn't have that, they should have contacted the customer at that time and basically fulfilled the order and had it ready when you got there. Not for them to start working on an order when you get there and knowing that they didn't have the item from the beginning. So I don't do it. I make them do it. If they don't do it, I'll communicate with Uber saying if they don't want to do it. Uber will be like, what? Blah, blah, blah. They cancel the order, you get paid, and you move on about your day, and you won't be penalized. They will be penalized. Also, after, let's say you pick up the food and everything's going good, communicate with the customer that you're on your way. As soon as you pick the food up, I'm on my way. When you're 5 minutes away, let the customer know that you're 5 minutes away. Communicate with the customer when you arrive. I've arrived. Even if you're dropping the food off at their door, text them, let them know. Tell them that you're having a nice day. Because when you do all those things, which I'll show you, like all the stats that I have, you're more likely to get a tip. You know what I mean? It's like a server who comes and they're very friendly and they come back and be like, well, it's going to take like 5 more minutes for your food and stuff like that. People like to hear communication, you know what I mean? Those are key things that you need to do to get tips, because tips really help you out. You know what I mean? If I get $4 for Uber and then the customer likes my customer service and they give me $5, that's a lot of money. The delivery might have taken me 12 minutes, right? So if I can do 3 of those in an hour, you're averaging over $20 to $30 an hour easily if you're being able to get tips. And I feel like the biggest part about getting tips is just communicating with people. I know I feel that way if I'm ordering Uber or whatnot, and the driver calls me and is like, I'm on my way. I'm like, thank you and stuff like that. There's also a little thing that I'm going to say, like, if you communicate with a customer and you're like, I'm on my way, and the customer says okay or all right, they're not going to tip you. That's already showing that they don't have gratitude. And if you text them and tell them that, and they're like, thank you so much, I appreciate that, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a good tip. But that's just like a theory that I have. I think it's factual, but I can't say for 100% sure. But out of all the deliveries that I've done, I'm pretty sure everyone works out like that. So that's everything about communication. Call the customer too if you're lost. Don't just ride around looking for the place. Call the customer and figure out if they can come meet you or whatever. Be like, hey, because like a lot of places you drive to, like especially like open apartment complexes, like you drive in an area and the whole area is called something. There's like apartment 13001 and there's 03003, and then each one of those have like 101, 102, 103, and then so on and so forth, like 202, 203, and they have like 3 or 4 levels. Most of the time the GPS is going to take you to the beginning of that apartment complex, and it's going to stop you. The GPS is going to cut off. So then you have to look for their apartment complex, and some of them are different. Some buildings are behind. So it's better if you get lost, call them as soon as you get there. Hey, I'm here, but I don't know where your place is. Can you help me navigate to get to your location? They'll be happy. Everything will run smoothly instead of you riding around for like 10 minutes looking for their place, and that just adds more time. So communication is key. Everybody knows it's communication, relationships, anything is key. So you always want to communicate with Uber. If you have problems with what's going on, schedule an appointment with a green light person. They do virtual appointments. You can go into a hub and let them know your discrepancies and let them know what's up, so you can get feedback, they can get feedback, and hopefully change it, because I feel like Uber Eats is a very good job to have and a very good hustle, especially in this pandemic. But just like I said, communication is key, especially with the customer, the restaurant, and Uber. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is so now I'm going to talk about the Plus card. The Plus card will drastically improve how much money you're making. Now, the Plus card is a credit card or whatever debit card they give you that you're able to call orders in. What you're supposed to order the food at the restaurant, and you pay for it with the credit card. The money's added to the card, you pay for it in that. This drastically increases the amount of money you're going to make per delivery. So you normally make $2 to $3 base fare, maybe $4 depending on how far it is for an order. When you order for the Plus card, you're making $10 plus for an order. I've made almost $40 off of a Plus card order, and it's the same amount of time it would be for a normal delivery. Normal deliveries take anywhere from like 10 to 20 minutes. Like picking up, dropping off, 10 to 20 minutes, sometimes more than that, right? And you're getting paid like, I would say $8 or so with tip as an average. With the Plus card, you're making close to $20 with, I would say at least $15 for that. So that's pretty much double what you would make. My suggestion also with the Plus card, when you get the order for the Plus card, they're going to give you the name of the restaurant, they're going to give you the order, and they're going to give you the phone number of the restaurant. Sometimes they don't have the right phone number, but all you got to do is Google it, call the restaurant before you get there. Do not order the food when you get there. It's pointless. It kills the time. That goes back into time management, right? You want to do everything as quick as possible. Get the food to the customer as quick as possible. So what I would suggest is calling the restaurant, putting the order in, and having it ready when you get there. Even if it's not ready when you get there, you arrive, go in the restaurant, and pay for it. And then they're going to be like, it's like 2 or 3 more minutes. Well, if it's ready, pick the food up, let the customer know that you're on your way to get it. Also, sometimes you might call and they might, like, I've had this situation where you call and the person orders a burger or a steak or something like that, and they didn't put whether they wanted medium rare or whatever. Do not guess. Tell the restaurant, I'll call you right back. Call the customer, text the customer real quick. You can usually text them when you're on the phone. Be like, hey, what is this? Customer's like, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Thank you so much. They're even more happy and they have gratitude for you doing that. So do that. Make sure that everything is good on the order. Order the food. So when you get there, all you gotta do is pay for it and the food's almost ready to go. The issue with the Plus card though that I've had, which is not a big deal, I'm gonna tell you how to handle this situation now too. So I've had certain situations where I arrive at the restaurant, I pay with the Plus card, the card gets declined. They're gonna run it 3 times. You can call support and they can do nothing, but there's pretty much nothing they can do. And the reason why this problem exists is Uber is gonna have an outdated menu. Whether it's for more money, well, it usually doesn't happen if it's for less money, because Uber puts a certain amount of money on the card, so it doesn't affect you if Uber put more money on the card. It only affects you if they put less money on the card. So I'll give you an example. Let's say a restaurant had a dish that was $5 at one point. Uber's going to calculate all the prices of everything, and they're going to put that on the card. Now, if the item has gone up in price, then it's going to show that the total is more than what Uber put on the card, so the card is going to get declined. What you're going to do in that situation is, if you have it, you pay for it yourself. Pay with your debit card. Before you do that, you're going to communicate. We're going to talk about communication again. You communicate with Uber, let them know that the card was declined. They're going to say you have an option to do it. Be like, I'm going to pay for it myself. As soon as you pay for it, you take a picture. So even with the Plus card, when you arrive, you pay for it with the Plus card. They're going to give you the receipt. You take the receipt, you upload it into the app. It's going to have an option for that. So you mark it as you arrived. Say you paid for it. You're going to take a picture of the receipt and upload it. So you do that. Do the same thing. You upload the receipt. Then after you do it, you're going to I usually contact the customer. I'm sorry, the prices were more than what it would be. I had to pay for it out of pocket. Like, it's nothing. It has nothing to do with you. It has something to do with Uber and the pricing of the menu being changed. And I'm paying with it with my own credit card. I'm going to be on my way now and drop the food off. Makes the customer a little bit more happy. It's kind of like gives you brownie points, you know what I mean? They're like, yo, this dude looked out for me. Like, I might not have been able to eat if it wasn't for this dude. It ain't that serious, but it adds a little, you know what I mean, sprinkles to your order. So you get there, you drop the food off at the customer. As soon as you drop the food off at the customer, mark it as you dropped it off. Call Uber support, let them know that you just made an order, you paid for it yourself, and that you just dropped the food off. Because they can't do this before you drop the food off, it has to be after. So as soon as you do that, you tell them they're going to send you an email. That email is going to have an option for you to upload the receipt. You upload the receipt that you just paid for it out of your pocket. It goes to them, and then you gotta call back again. You call back again, and what they're gonna do is they're gonna put it on your daily earnings. It's not gonna go back in your bank account. They'll put it on your daily earnings. So let's say it shows that you made $70 and you paid $20 out of pocket, right? Your earnings go from $70 to $20. They're gonna put it as a miscellaneous fee. But if you don't do what I'm telling you to do, you're gonna wait 48 hours to get your money back. So communicate with them. Let them know you want your money. The more you communicate with them, the better you're going to have. But definitely, if you have an option to get in the Plus card, I don't know if you have to do a certain amount of deliveries. I know when I first started Uber, they didn't offer me this. I think it was like after I reached 1,000 deliveries or something. I don't know if it's that for sure. But if you have an option to get the Plus card, get the Plus card. You'll make way more money. You know what I mean? Just like I said, I've made like $40 driving for like 15 minutes. Yeah, freaking awesome. It makes things like way easier to make money on a daily basis. Last thing we're going to talk about are promotions. Probably the biggest thing. You want to go out whenever there's a promotion. They have different promotions. They have surge promotion, which you get from 1.1 to 1.7. I'll put that on screen right here. What that means is whatever your base fare is, they're going to times that by 1.1 or 1.7, whatever area that you're in, and you're going to get that extra. And they also have different promotions, like they call them Quest. So that means if you do 3 deliveries, you'll get an extra $12. And then so on and so forth. You do extra six. You do 6 trips, they're gonna add an extra $30, and so on and so forth. I'll put that on screen here. That way, you can really make your money. And those are the times that you want to schedule. They usually send you an email. It will be in app, and they'll also send you a text message. So schedule those times. Just like I said, they usually make those times lunchtime and dinner time. Sometimes they have them all day, especially on the weekends or like special events. You know what I mean? Like Super Bowl weekend, any type of like holiday, they do it. Even Thanksgiving, they pay you like way extra. So promotions are very vital in making really, really good money. Like yesterday, I went out and I'll show you my earnings. I made $202. $202. I worked 3 hours. I made $204. I worked 3 hours. Not even 3 hours. I was on the app for 3 hours. Some of the time it was like dead space and I sat around. But I went out when there was a promotion. I was in the search area. And I got some plus cards and a bunch of stuff. $202 is really good money. If I worked a normal 8-hour shift yesterday, I would have made way more than that. But $202 a day is like good. You make $200 a day in 3 hours. You work 3 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know what I mean? That's $1,400. That's what is that? 14? Yeah, it's $1,400. That's like pretty good money right now, especially in the pandemic and a lot of people losing their jobs. And you have Uber is a very good job for flexibility. You know what I mean? Like even if you have kids, you know what I mean? I get my daughters every other weekend or every other week. We split responsibilities. You know what I mean? We get them half and half. So even if I want, I could take my daughters with me for like 2 or 3 hours. They think it's fun. We're driving around together. We're dropping food off. They feel like they're working. I basically take them to Target, buy them some toys and stuff afterwards to repay them for helping me out. It's fun. You can do that. You can even take your friends. You can take your friends. You can take your girlfriend. You can take your husband. You can take your wife. You know what I mean? It's like a very easy job. You do it when you want. If you're up late at night and you just like can't sleep, go out and get some money. You know what I mean? You want to wake up in the morning or something, go out, you can get some money. Somebody's going to be ordering breakfast. You can legitimately just be like, leave your app on all day and take orders whenever you want. You know what I mean? You can stop whenever you want. You got something to do. It gives you a lot of flexibility. I just don't do Uber Eats. I do a bunch of stuff. I do DoorDash sometimes. I do freelance graphic design. As if you've seen my channel, I do live streaming. I play video games. I skateboard. I work out. I would not be able to do all of those things if it was not really for being able to work for Uber Eats. And recently, I was working for Amazon, and I see a lot of people talking about working for Amazon and stuff like that. That Amazon's probably one of the worst jobs to work for, right? I wanted to work for them just because they have good insurance, right? And I wanted somewhere like a job to pay for my insurance, right? So I was paying, like Uber has insurance through Stride, but you're still paying more out of pocket. So started working for Amazon, and that is like hard work compared to Uber Eats. Like very, very hard work. And you don't make the same, you make way less. Like basically you gotta be on their schedule. Your whole life goes to Amazon. You gotta wake up at freaking 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, this is where I work. Get to the hub at 9:30. Then after you get in there, you gotta like check your van out. You gotta sign into this app. You gotta do all this stuff. Then you gotta load 200 to 300 packages on a car. Then you're doing 120 something stops. You're out all day. Then you gotta bring the van back. You gotta fill the van up. You gotta do all this rigmarole. You know, it's just like they work you to the bone, and then you're making $130 because they take taxes out. Like I know they're paying for tax, but they take taxes out. So, and then you're dead. You can't do nothing else. Like I could work 8 hours for Uber and still do stuff at night. I'm not tired at all. Especially if you love driving, Uber is the best job, hands down, to do. It's fun. Like I would suggest listening to podcasts, learning about something. I listened to like real estate investments, listen to about cryptocurrencies. It's like anything, or I listen to creepypastas, or just pretty much anything. You listen to podcasts and just sit back and kind of drift away. These are things that you would do normally at home. You can do that in your car while delivering Uber Eats, or you can listen to music all day. It's your prerogative. You know what I mean? You can do what you want when you want, and it's very flexible. Also, the biggest thing too, I'll give you like a side tip, that you can write everything off. You can write your gas off, cell phone bill, oil changes, all of those things. You're in the 1099, so all of those things kind of are like a bonus, which is going to help you out at the end of the year when you're paying taxes. So that's that. If you have any other comments or questions, please put them in the description and I will try to answer them in a timely fashion. Also, I'm going to put my referral code in the description. If you use that code, I will get some money. You'll get some money after you complete a certain amount of trips. Also, I've been told that when you use somebody's referral code, they hire you. The process of getting hired is a little bit quicker. But Uber's the wave, I feel like right now. And then also they even have options with Toyota and Hertz to where you can rent a car. You can rent a car for like, at one point it was $120. I don't know if it's anywhere from $100 to $200 for a week. Toyota, they also finance cars through Toyota. So you can technically, if you have a good driving record and everything's like, your background and everything's good, you can basically finance a car through Uber with Toyota, and you can basically work and pay that car off and have a car. Or you can just, like I said, you don't have a car, you can rent a car every week. But that is your expense. Know that you're going to spend between $100 and $200 for a car. You need to work maybe a day to pay that off. Just like I said, I make $200 a day. Pay that off. You're going to make another $40 to pay for gas. The rest of the money that you make is yours, and you haven't used your car or wear and tear. To me, it's a win-win situation. So, I hope to see you out there. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Also, hit that like button. And, I appreciate y'all. Peace, love, happiness, and I will see you later.